If you've been scrolling through endless home gym options, watching video after video of people bragging about their perfect racks, and still feel that knot of uncertainty, you're not alone. You're probably wondering whether you're going to waste space, money, or end up with a piece of equipment that feels more like a decorative metal sculpture than a workhorse. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and in the next few minutes I'll walk through why the Sunny Health and Fitness Power Rack with its attachment bundles might finally give you the confidence to hit add to cart. First off, let's talk about the everyday scenario most of us face. You have a spare corner in a garage or a modest basement, you own a couple of dumbbells, a barbell, and you want to start squatting, benching, or even trying out a Smith machine-style lift without signing a lease on a commercial gym. The Sunny Rack promises an Olympic-style setup in a compact footprint, and that claim actually matters when you compare it to the bare-bones squat stands you see on budget sites. The real test is whether the guide rails stay smooth when you're loading a heavy bar, and whether the spotter arms truly adjust without wobbling. I set up the rack in a 12 by 12 foot garage that already houses a treadmill and a set of kettlebells. Assembly took a solid 2 hours with the included instructions, which are clearly laid out and color-coded. The steel frame feels solid from the moment you tighten the last bolt. There's a reassuring heft that suggests it won't wobble under a 300-pound barbell. That's the first practical strength, a sturdy skeleton that can take the kind of load you'd expect from a serious lifter, not just a casual hobbyist. The guide rails, which are the core of the Smith machine experience, slide along cylindrical tracks that stay quiet and consistent, even after multiple reps of heavy squats. I tested it with a 225-pound bar for a set of front squats, and the rails didn't grind or catch, which is a common complaint on cheaper racks. Now, the spotter blocks are where the design either earns or loses points for everyday use. They lock into place with a simple lever and can be raised or lowered to match your height. In practice, I found them easy to adjust between a bench press and a low-pull deadlift, and they held firm even when I accidentally let go of the bar at the top of a press. That safety net is a practical win for anyone who lifts alone at home and can't afford a dedicated spotter. However, the blocks are not as thick as those on high-end commercial rigs, so if you regularly load more than 300 pounds, you might feel a slight flex under extreme stress. It's not a deal-breaker for most home users, but it's a hidden trade-off to be aware of. The attachment bundle includes a dumbbell rack, a pull-up bar, and a set of plate holders that mount directly to the frame. This is where the value proposition really shows up. The dumbbell rack slides onto the side of the rack, keeping your 5, 10, and 20-pound pairs neatly organized and within arm's reach. I used it during a circuit that mixed kettlebell swings, dumbbell curls, and barbell rows, and the transition between equipment was seamless. The pull-up bar spans the top of the frame and can handle multiple reps without sagging, which is great if you want to incorporate bodyweight work without buying a separate station. The plate holders keep plates from rolling off the floor, a small convenience that saves you from a potential injury. On the downside, the rack's footprint, while not massive, does demand a clear floor space of at least 8 feet in width. If your garage is already cramped with a treadmill and a bike, you might need to rearrange or sacrifice something else. Also, the rack does not come with a built-in weight storage system beyond the small dumbbell rack. You'll still need a separate plate tree or stand if you plan to own a full set of 45-pound plates. That's a cost you'll have to factor in if you're building a complete home gym from scratch. Lastly, the Smith machine-style guide rails, while smooth, limit the range of motion compared to a freestanding barbell rack. If you're a lifter who thrives on the feel of an unrestricted bar path, you might find the guided motion a little restrictive for certain lifts like Romanian deadlifts or high pulls. So, who should buy this power rack? If you're a beginner or intermediate lifter who values safety, likes the idea of a guided squat or bench press, and wants a single piece of equipment that can also hold dumbbells and a pull-up bar, the Sunny Rack checks the boxes. It's especially appealing for families where space is limited but multiple users will share the setup. The adjustable spotter arms accommodate different heights, and the built-in storage keeps everything tidy. It also makes sense for people who are transitioning from a home gym starter kit to something more serious without splurging on a commercial rack. Who should skip it?